which Tom is a senior Scientologist. He's single-handedly saving the planet. That is the truth. I'm not trying to be funny. That is what we're told. That is what we're told. So if you say anything about him or do something like what Katie did, which was take her daughter and save her daughter's life, she's considered an enemy.
At 45, Katie Holmes is finally opening up about her past with Tom Cruise and his ties to Scientology. And the timing has everyone talking. For years, rumors swirled and whispers echoed through Hollywood. But Katie kept that chapter sealed shut until now, after more than a decade of silence. She's ready to lift the curtain on what really went down behind closed doors. Hollywood love stories can be wild, but Tom and Katie's was on another level. From that first headline-grabbing date to going public, getting engaged, expecting a baby, and tying the knot, all in just 18 months. Their whirlwind romance became one of the most talked-about relationships in entertainment. It was fast, flashy, and completely magnetic. But like many stories that burn too bright, it didn't last forever. For years after their split, the truth stayed hidden beneath carefully chosen words and polite interviews. But now, 12 years later, Katie is sharing what really happened, and fans can't believe what they're hearing. So how did it all begin? What caused this seemingly picture-perfect love story to crumble so quickly?
Because you gotta love it. It's great here.
I love the city. It's always a bit of an adjustment because in New York, no matter what, if someone's being nice to you or if they're being mean to you, they're yelling at you.
Katie Holmes is finally ready to speak her truth about Tom Cruise, his world of Scientology, and the Hollywood romance that left everyone stunned. Even today, their relationship remains one of the most unforgettable pairings the industry has ever seen, with the age gap, power dynamic, and career differences sparking endless debate from the very start. Tom Cruise was already a global superstar, a name that screamed Hollywood power and blockbuster success. Everyone knew his face, his charm, and that signature confidence that made him impossible to ignore.
Yeah, our family's gonna chill and we're gonna, we like taking those times. I mean, that is a very special time, all these holidays.
His rise began back in the early 1980s, starting with small roles in Endless Love, Taps, and The Outsiders. But it was risky business that turned him into a true sensation. After that, there was no slowing down. Top Gun sent him soaring straight into heartthrob status, sealing his place as one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. By the 1990s, Tom wasn't just about looks. He was proving his depth, with powerful performances in A Few Good Men, Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire, and even the provocative Eyes Wide Shut. He showed the world that he could do it all. By then, Tom Cruise wasn't just a movie star, he was a Hollywood empire. Meanwhile, Katie Holmes was carving out her own path, working hard to make her mark. She became America's sweetheart through her breakout role as Joey Potter on Dawson's Creek, the show that made her a household name.
Yes, ma'am, the data on the MiG is inaccurate.
How's that, Lieutenant?
Well, I just happened to see a MiG-28. Sorry, Goose.
Though films like Disturbing Behavior and Go didn't skyrocket her fame, Katie kept climbing, proving she was more than just a teen TV star. Even Katie herself once admitted the distance between their worlds. In a 2004 interview, she sweetly confessed that she'd always admired Tom, even dreamed about marrying him. At the time, it sounded like pure fantasy, but just a year later, that dream would become her reality, though the journey ahead would be far from ordinary. By March 2005, Katie's life flipped upside down overnight. She had just ended her engagement to actor Chris Klein, a sudden breakup that shocked fans and tabloids everywhere.
It's something that has helped me incredibly in my life.
Yeah.
I've been a Scientologist for over 30 years, and it's something that, without it, I wouldn't be where I am.
In another interview soon after, she hinted that Chris hadn't fully supported her ambitions, and that subtle remark spoke louder than words. Things got even more mysterious when, during a live interview, Katie suddenly stepped away to take a private phone call. Cameras kept rolling as she softly said, "I love you," later claiming it was her mom on the line. But Hollywood insiders weren't convinced. That moment set off an immediate storm of speculation that something much bigger was going on behind the scenes. And then just 1 month later, in April 2005, the puzzle pieces started falling into place. Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise shocked the world by making their first public appearance together in Rome.
And I was invited, because he was in Endless Love, Tom was the guy in Endless Love who convinces Martin Hewer to set the house on fire and then be the hero. So I've known him for decades.
Tom was there to receive a prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award, but all eyes were glued to the new couple, and everyone wanted to know how it happened so fast. The news spread like wildfire. Some fans were thrilled, others suspicious. Critics quickly claimed the timing seemed too perfect. Both stars had massive films dropping soon. Tom was promoting War of the Worlds, and Katie was preparing for Batman Begins. The whispers began. Was it true love? Or the most talked about Hollywood stunt of the decade? The tabloids went absolutely wild with theories. And then came the moment that changed everything. What was meant to silence the rumors ended up making the noise even louder. During Tom Cruise's now legendary appearance on The Oprah Winfrey Show, he completely skipped the usual movie talk and focused entirely on Katie. He couldn't stop praising her, full of energy, passion, and emotion, until he suddenly jumped up on Oprah's couch, shouting his love for the world to hear.
Tom is very well aware of what is Scientology, truthfully. He is very aware that it's an organization that defrauding people out of their lives.
That one unforgettable scene became instant pop culture history. The clips spread like wildfire, and people everywhere were stunned by what they saw. Later on, comedian Seth Rogen claimed that Tom once told him producers had edited the footage to make it look more over the top than it really was. But by then, the moment had already become iconic. Whether you saw it as romantic or outrageous, one thing was clear. From that day forward, Tom and Katie completely owned the spotlight. Their chemistry was on full display everywhere they went. They smiled, posed, hugged, and kissed for the cameras, even repeating scenes so photographers could capture the perfect shot. One of their most famous moments showed Tom dipping Katie like a scene straight out of an old Hollywood romance film. Dramatic, glamorous, and impossible to forget. For Katie, this wasn't just another love story. It was a dream come true.
Rachel?
I'd heard you were back. What are you doing?
Just swimming. Wow.
She'd grown up admiring Tom and his inner circle of Hollywood legends like Steven Spielberg and Penelope Cruz. She had big goals too, and she never hid the fact that she wanted to climb to the very top of Hollywood's ladder. So when Tom proposed only 2 months into dating, Katie didn't hesitate for a second. The proposal happened in one of the most romantic places on Earth, at the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. It was like something straight out of a fairy tale. Tom later shared the exciting news at a press conference in Paris, proudly describing the proposal as magnificent, saying that the Eiffel Tower symbolized their love and destiny together. Katie beamed beside him, flashing a massive diamond ring that had everyone talking. But just when fans thought things couldn't get any bigger, the couple dropped another bombshell only 3 months later. News that sent Hollywood into a total frenzy. When the news broke that Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes were expecting their first child, the world couldn't stop talking. Their spokesperson confirmed the pregnancy, saying the couple was over the moon with excitement. In April 2006, their daughter, Suri, was born, and Tom was absolutely glowing with pride. He described the moment as deeply spiritual, something he replayed in his mind over and over while holding their baby girl close. From the outside, everything looked perfect. Fame, fortune, and a new family. But behind the smiles and flashing cameras, one powerful influence was quietly shaping their lives. Tom's deep connection to Scientology. That very connection would soon begin to test the foundation of their fairy tale romance. After Suri's arrival, Katie Holmes stepped fully into her role as Tom Cruise's wife. And the world was watching every move. She wasn't just married to a movie star, she had become part of one of Hollywood's most powerful circles, and the pressure was enormous. On the surface, their life looked like a dream. Glamorous events, jet-setting travels, and red carpet perfection. But behind the scenes, things were far more complicated. A detailed Vanity Fair report later exposed just how carefully orchestrated Katie's entry into Tom's life might have been, with his long-standing involvement in Scientology at the very center of it all. After Tom's previous relationships with Nicole Kidman and Penelope Cruz ended, reports claimed that the Church of Scientology allegedly began helping him find a new partner. Several well-known actresses were reportedly considered, including Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson, but both allegedly stepped away after learning more about his spiritual ties. By late 2004, that search still hadn't found success, until actress Nazanin Boniati, a devoted Scientologist, was reportedly introduced to Tom. Their connection didn't last long, and soon after, the focus shifted again. Everything changed when Katie Holmes entered the picture, just months after she'd expressed admiration for Tom in a 17 magazine interview. That comment caught attention fast, and soon after, the two were introduced. Katie later told the New York Times style magazine that falling for Tom felt natural, like something destined to happen. But nothing about their relationship was simple. Reports say that the church closely monitored Katie's early days with Tom, even assigning a Scientologist chaperone named Jessica Rodriguez to accompany her everywhere, especially during their Whirlwind European press tour. Jessica's presence was impossible to ignore. She often sat in on interviews, speaking on Katie's behalf and steering conversations away from touchy subjects like public opinion or Scientology. Some reporters assumed Jessica was Katie's manager, until she clarified that she was actually Katie's best friend, despite knowing her for only 6 weeks. That timeline lined up almost perfectly with when Katie first met Tom, and fans couldn't help but raise their eyebrows. Jessica came from a wealthy Scientology family based in California and was part of the elite Sea Org, which only fueled speculation about her true role. Then, not long after publicly denying any involvement in Scientology, Katie suddenly announced her conversion. Her decision drew mixed reactions. During one interview, Katie described her new beliefs as exciting and revealed that she had been receiving spiritual counseling. She said she was taking courses and felt comfortable identifying as both Catholic and Scientologist. When asked if Tom had pressured her, Katie firmly defended him, saying he was loving, kind, and would never force his views on anyone. She even called being with him a privilege. Everything built up to their extravagant wedding on November 18, 2006, a celebration that looked straight out of a fantasy film. The ceremony took place at the medieval Odescalchi Castle in Italy, complete with fireworks that lit up the sky and guests dressed to impress. Fashion legend Giorgio Armani, who designed Katie's off-the-shoulder gown, described her walk down the aisle as breathtaking. The star-studded guest list was unbelievable. Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony, Brooke Shields, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, Jim Carrey, and Jenny McCarthy, just to name a few. The ceremony itself blended a 20-minute Scientology ritual with traditional vows about love, honor, and understanding one another before sleep, a symbolic touch that caught everyone's attention. Church leaders were present, including Tom's best man, David Miscavige, as well as his children Isabella and Connor and his sister Nancy. The celebration continued inside the castle's grand hall of the Caesars, where emotions ran high. Heartfelt toasts filled the air, and guests watched as Katie shared a touching father-daughter dance to Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World. Then came the couple's first dance to Fleetwood Mac's Songbird, marking what looked like the start of a perfect new chapter. But behind the glamour, small cracks were beginning to show. Even as the glow of their wedding lingered, whispers started spreading that not everything was as flawless as it appeared. The once magical fairy tale began to show signs of strain as real life and deep-rooted differences started creeping in. By 2010, the tension was hard to ignore. Rumors about distance and emotional disconnect began circulating, even as Katie continued to present a united front in public. To outsiders, the split that came later seemed to appear from nowhere. But looking back, the warning signs had been there all along. Something in that picture-perfect story had quietly shifted, and the world was about to see it all unravel. In a Marie Claire interview, Katie Holmes described her life as incredible, saying she felt lucky to be Tom Cruise's wife. But behind those polished words, there was another reality quietly unfolding, one the public had yet to see. Just 2 years later, their marriage would be over. Was Katie already sensing the end? Had she started preparing in silence while maintaining her calm, picture-perfect image? Looking back, the timeline raises some serious questions. One of the earliest red flags appeared months before their daughter Suri was even born. During a Barbara Walters special, Tom stunned viewers by revealing that he had purchased a sonogram machine for personal use, before later donating it to a hospital. The comment instantly caused a stir, leaving many wondering why such equipment would be used privately in the first place. Medical experts quickly voiced concerns, pointing out that personal use of ultrasound machines wasn't standard practice. The FDA even stepped in, issuing reminders that private ownership of medical imaging devices could breach regulations. The entire situation added another layer of curiosity, awe, and controversy. to Tom's already unique approach to family life. Later on, even more questions surfaced when actress Leah Remini, who had once been part of Scientology, revealed a tense and unsettling moment she claimed to have witnessed at Tom and Katie's wedding. In her memoir, she described walking into a bathroom where several women, including Tom's sister and an assistant, were gathered near baby Suri. Leah wrote that the way they were speaking felt oddly harsh and left her deeply unsettled. That moment stuck with her and fueled even more speculation about the strange world surrounding the couple's private life. Over time, fans began to notice a curious pattern in Tom's relationships. His marriages all seemed to follow a similar rhythm. Intense beginnings, strict boundaries, and public scrutiny that never seemed to fade. Gossip columnist Perez Hilton even pointed out something eerie. Each of Tom's marriages reportedly ended when his wives turned 33. Some observers linked that number to Scientology's history, noting that the Hubbard Association of Scientologists was founded in Phoenix, Arizona, a city located on the 33rd parallel. As Katie neared her 33rd birthday in 2012, quiet whispers spread through Hollywood that another divorce might be on the horizon. But behind the scenes, Katie wasn't waiting for fate. She was preparing for her freedom. According to reports, she discreetly hired 3 separate law firms in different states to plan every move carefully. To keep her actions hidden, she even used a burner phone provided by a close friend so she could speak with her lawyers without drawing any attention. Everything was done in total secrecy. One of the most shocking details to emerge later involved the couple's prenuptial agreement. It was reportedly crafted by Katie's father, who happens to be a lawyer, and insiders described it as extremely detailed. Though the full contents have never been revealed publicly, Vanity Fair reported that the agreement filled 5 full banker's boxes. Proof of just how much thought and planning went into it from the very beginning. When it came to money, reports varied widely. The Mirror claimed Katie had secured a settlement worth just over $50 million for herself and Suri, while TMZ later reported that there was actually no lump sum payout at all. Instead, legal documents allegedly showed that Katie would receive $400,000 per year in child support, along with full coverage for Suri's education, healthcare, insurance, and all her extracurricular activities. It was clear by then that Katie wasn't just walking away. She was walking away prepared. Every step had been planned with precision, showing that behind her calm exterior, she'd been quietly building her escape from one of the most high-profile marriages in Hollywood history. What's undeniable is that the prenuptial agreement made the divorce shockingly fast. The entire process wrapped up in just 11 days, almost unheard of for such a high-profile split. Some even speculated that Katie's father, being a lawyer, had anticipated that the marriage might not last and designed a deal to protect both his daughter and granddaughter, while making it easy for Tom to walk away cleanly if things ever fell apart. Whether that theory holds any truth or not, the result was one of Hollywood's most discreet separations. No court battles, no dragged-out negotiations, no messy statements tossed to the press. Katie released a calm statement, calling the divorce a private matter, and made it clear her only priority was Suri's well-being. Tom's representative echoed that sentiment, expressing sadness about the split and emphasizing that Tom remained devoted to his children and their privacy. He also made sure everyone knew that co-parenting was a top priority as Suri grew up under intense public attention. After all the highs, the lows, and the downright bizarre moments, fans were left wondering what would come next for the once unstoppable couple. You might assume Katie was heartbroken after ending a marriage to the man she once dreamed of, but that wasn't quite the case. Katie kept her composure, staying private and grounded through the chaos. And before long, love quietly found her again, right back in Hollywood. Years later, Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx subtly confirmed their relationship, and it sent shockwaves across entertainment headlines. Rumors claimed they had been secretly dating for nearly 4 years before stepping out publicly. The timing was almost poetic. It happened right after the 5th anniversary of her split from Tom Cruise. TMZ later reported that Tom had enforced a strict clause in their settlement, preventing Katie from discussing their marriage or publicly dating anyone for 5 years. A source told Radar Online that while Katie was free to date privately, she couldn't do so openly, and no romantic partners were allowed around Suri during that time. One final layer of control in an already intense chapter. In exchange for following that reported clause, Katie allegedly received around $3.6 million in child support and another $3.8 million for herself. From the outside, it looked like she followed every rule, keeping her life low-key and steering clear of drama. Her romance with Jamie Foxx stayed extremely private. They first connected at a charity gala in New York in August 2013, and what makes it even more ironic is that Katie and Jamie had actually met years earlier, through Tom himself. Their first introduction reportedly happened at a football game back when Tom and Jamie were close friends after filming Collateral. Sources said Katie took her privacy so seriously that she'd wear hats and wigs during private hotel meetups with Jamie to avoid attention. Jamie respected her boundaries completely, shutting down rumors whenever they popped up, insisting they were just friends. But by 2015, their secret nearly slipped when Katie was spotted at Jamie's surprise birthday party in New York. Insiders said her affection for him was obvious, even if they were still denying everything publicly. Even after photos leaked of the pair holding hands at a recording studio, Jamie continued to insist they were just friends, a claim that fans didn't quite buy. Meanwhile, Katie's connection with Tom had faded almost completely. Since their split, the two have rarely been seen together or spoken publicly about one another. They moved on in separate worlds, living entirely different lives. In a reflective InStyle interview around her 41st birthday, Katie opened up about personal growth and independence. She explained that reaching that age helped her truly understand herself for the first time. She said her experiences had taught her to trust her instincts and emotions, to stop deferring to others and finally listen to her own voice. Many readers saw that as a quiet but powerful nod to her past. In the same interview, she described relocating to New York City after the divorce, calling it overwhelming due to the intense public attention and the challenge of raising a young child alone. What got her through those early years wasn't fame or money, but kindness. She recalled small moments of compassion from everyday people that meant everything to her. One story stood out. She remembered Suri being around 6 or 7 years old, spending the night at a friend's house while Katie attended a ballet at Lincoln Center. Around 10 p.m., Suri called saying she wanted to come home, so Katie immediately left to get her. On the way back, Suri fell asleep in the cab, and when they arrived, the driver quietly helped carry her inside so she wouldn't wake up. That simple act of kindness stayed with Katie forever. Through all of this, Tom's presence faded further from Katie's narrative. Rumors have persisted for years about his limited involvement in Suri's life. The once famous power couple hasn't been photographed together in over a decade. According to Daily Mail, Tom reportedly missed key milestones, including Suri's high school graduation and moments during her college application process, marking a dramatic shift from the family once constantly in the spotlight. Since their sudden 2012 divorce, sources have claimed that Tom has had little direct involvement in Suri's day-to-day life. He did, however, push back strongly in 2013 by filing a defamation lawsuit against Bauer Media after stories emerged suggesting he had abandoned his daughter. When asked whether Katie left him to protect Suri from Scientology, Tom avoided giving a direct answer but confirmed one major thing: both Katie and Suri were no longer part of the faith. That statement reignited speculation about whether Scientology played a role in their distance. Critics pointed out that the religion has strict rules about cutting ties with those who leave, labeling them as suppressive persons. Many believe that might have influenced Tom's separation from his daughter. Insiders later claimed that the emotional rift only deepened over time, with Tom maintaining financial obligations but stepping back from daily involvement. Once Suri turned 18, Tom was no longer required to pay the reported $400,000 annual child support, though the divorce documents clearly stated that he must continue covering her education, medical care, insurance, and other expenses. A Daily Mail source confirmed that Tom has always met those responsibilities financially, but has chosen not to maintain an active relationship. Through it all, Katie Holmes has remained rock solid. She raised Suri single-handedly, focusing on giving her daughter a grounded, loving life away from Hollywood's chaos. Friends say Katie has been heavily involved in her daughter's college planning, encouraging her to chase her passions, especially fashion, while staying close to home in New York. Now that Suri is grown, Katie is feeling both pride and nostalgia. She's proud of the independent young woman her daughter has become, but emotional about how quickly time has passed. Their mother-daughter bond remains unbreakable and built on trust, loyalty, and love stronger than fame itself. So now the big question remains, was Scientology the invisible force that tore this Hollywood marriage apart, or was it simply destined to fall under pressure? The debate isn't over anytime soon, and everyone has an opinion. Drop your thoughts below in the comments. Do you think their story was fate or fallout? Smash that like button if you felt something real, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more wild Hollywood stories. See you on the next one.